is, and we are at M&T Bank Stadium down near the Inner Harbor of Baltimore. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for Nick Chubb. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. This is incomplete.
I want to see Northern trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. From the gun, here's Hill. Flushed out right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marlon Humphrey. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
At the 16-yard line.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And in for the Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Hill now to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Odafe Oweh in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Hill. And this is incomplete.
You definitely would have liked to have hit on that one, because now you've got a 3rd and long showing up, and you just know defense is going to be getting after it. They are pinning their ears back, and they are coming.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Hill. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And as these guys interplay in Week 17, we know one thing. They are playoff bound, but they want to win that division title. They told us that is a goal that's been posted in their locker room since day one. They've got the chance to control their own destiny.
And there's nothing more powerful than saying that you...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Well, for all the deserved accolades Lamar Jackson gets for his running prowess, his deep ball, it's really a thing to behold as well.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
The Browns drive about to get started. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
And it's caught. Touchdown, Browns. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Browns have cut it back within a score. Chris Nagar now for the extra point. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust. So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Space to run past the 20 and all the way down to the 17-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K.
touchdown! Mark Andrews, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. A pretty wild first quarter, 21-7, our score. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Hill. And it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched the playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
Now a carry for Dobbins. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. These two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the Ravens getting the road victory in that one. So now they'll look to finish off the season sweep here in Baltimore. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Whoa, he just yanked that one well to the left and no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Hands it off out of the gun. And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he's stopped right around the 29. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Jackson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
well.
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Hill. Flush to his right. And that's incomplete.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield and try and hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
Throwing on 3rd down, Hill. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
After the interception, here's under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now it's Jackson. They're looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And they'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Here's Hill. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. These two teams met in Baltimore, you might remember, earlier in the year with the Ravens winning that game. So a win here in Baltimore would give them the season sweep. To throw on 2nd and 10. Hill. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Play action. It's Hill. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 20. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play too.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Hill. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Hill. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 45. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
1st down and more for Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
I mean, what more can you say about Lamar Jackson? We know that he's got the quickness and the agility, but if you wanted proof of his straight-line speed, look no further.
And normally when you see guys moving this fast, it might be a flying pattern from a receiver or a toss sweep from a tailback or something like that. This was designed as a passing play, and then he got out of the pocket, and he just took off, and he just kept gaining momentum with every step.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Browns drive about to get started. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Third and 2, Hill. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And he will bring this back. It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown. That pick six extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. If things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now first and 10 at their own 24.
He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now Dobbins again on second down.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49.
50 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They'll run on first down. Dobbins. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On second down, a run with Dobbins.
And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the night, and the Ravens add on. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. On 2nd and 12, Hill. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's got room. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll make this a 2nd down. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. They'll try and run for it. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland.
His 8th rushing touchdown and 9th overall on the year.
And the Browns get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Extra point by Nagar is up and good
as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
81 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Right back to Dobbins on first.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
And I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Taken at the 15, a short kick. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here's 2nd and 10.
There's Hill. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. first down. Hill. And now here's another interception. Picked off near the 44. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
118 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
And they take a knee. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. And they'll indeed take a knee. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put